What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley. You can find me on Twitter at ArtisticGamer28, and that's the one, the only, is Scott Savage. He's back. You can find him on Twitter at Savage. Scott, what's happening, buddy? Dude, we're almost up on Friday already.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to blink and half of October is going to be gone, especially with all the releases this month alone.
Oh, yeah.
It's flying by.
Absolutely. Dude, between releases and betas having problems, we got a lot to talk about. You can catch all that over at InsideTheGame.ca, podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. We see everybody over there on our television networks. Thank you so much for supporting us over there. You can also support us over on our YouTube channel and hit us up at the official ITG on Twitter. That would be much appreciated. Scott, coming up on today's show, dude, Battlefield 2042's beta has launched with multiple issues. Twitch sees their source code leaked and possible streamer info as well. Ouch.
Oh, no.
And New World is cracking down on AFK players. Can't blame them.
How could they? How could they AFK after being 1/1,000th in line?
Yeah, exactly, dude. We'll talk about it because it's interesting. Dude, we did it yesterday. I'm gonna do it again. Scott, all you take this one away, buddy.
Okay, well, there are some issues, unfortunately, with the Battlefield 2042 beta. It just went into access, and there's a few things wrong with it. So let's try and get into this. There's an official post on the EA site where they've outlined a series of known issues with the beta. The studio is correcting this before launch. I mean, that is the purpose of the beta, but there are still some kind of, well, glaring issues, specifically graphical, visual, and performance issues that are really hanging some people up in the game, and that's not a good sign. But it goes deeper than that, unfortunately. They are quoted saying, "Our open beta is representative of progress made earlier in our development." The statement also goes on to say, "Many of the issues you encounter throughout the beta have already received a great deal of new attention and will continue to do so as we complete our final work on 2042. So they're aware of the issues, at least.
But well, then why give us the old code to deal with and then have everybody come to light and go, hey, I got this problem, that problem, this problem. Yeah. Why do that then? If that's the case, can they maybe just update the beta? I don't know if that's possible. I'm just trying to, like, obviously, Scott, you and I are not developers by any means. And no. I know that making these games are tough. But you want to launch at least a beta in a solid state where you're going to have some kind of representation that isn't going to be littered with bugs that people will just hammer you on social media.
Yeah, you need some sort of constructive feedback from it. And this seems to kind of hinder that up a lot. Maybe the beta was more about trying to test server strength.
Maybe.
But it is as far as I know, it's quite a limited beta, not worldwide. So I'm not quite sure how to really think about that one, but they did also state EA has noted that you will not experience the full range of support functionality for the PlayStation 5 controller during the beta, but the DualSense functionality will be tested for a possible inclusion down the road. That is a little worrying with me.
But like, a possible inclusion for later down the road, as in like launch later, or like it kind of leaves it out there a little bit, right? Are we gonna...
Is this a port? Didn't they make this specifically with the new consoles in mind? It just seems strange to me.
Dude, do you think they really made it on last gen and then up-resed it and imported it over to next gen consoles? And that's why there's no PS5 DualSense controller connection there whatsoever? It's just a dead controller?
You know, that would make a little bit more sense for the graphical issues as well, because maybe there's some sort of hardware they weren't quite accounting for, but I hope that's not the case. I want something built from the ground up.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like we're getting that right now, does it?
No, there are a few other issues. Well, a number of them. There's the crossplay functionality is not in the beta as of yet. It is supposedly a feature for the full launch, the full release. You should be able to jump in and cross friends list and that sort of thing. There is an issue with the HDR modes on PC. Well, that's unfortunate. There are quite a few. I'm running down a list here. Comma rows will be available in the final game. You can only ping in the beta. I'm not exactly sure what that means.
I don't know.
There's the voice over IP issue. There's nothing in beta right now, but there will be, of course, a voice chat across platforms on full release. Well, there is no recording capability on the Xbox side, which, in my opinion, makes sense as far as a beta goes, because you don't really want people making videos out of that. That's not what the intention is. So
no,
that makes sense, but will, of course, be there in the full game.
Okay, so, dude, this sounds like there's a ton of issues that they are already aware of, right?
Yeah.
So if they're already working on these issues, Scott, plus whatever comes up within the beta itself, are you worried at all for the launch of Battlefield 2042? Or you think, because no launch these days at all goes smoothly, right? Like
that's
never.
Exactly what I was thinking. I want to have confidence in this one because it's EA. It's a massive juggernaut, and they make Battlefield games. Battlefield games have been great. I'm not so happy with the last one, but otherwise they've been amazing. So I'm really not so concerned, other than the trend that we've seen, which has a lot to do with the state of the world, has a lot to do with new consoles, but in any case, we're seeing a lot of these botched releases, and that's bad news.
Absolutely. For me personally, I think looking from the outside in, dude, I'm kind of concerned. I'm a little bit worried at the launch of this game. I think they're going to have a semi-successful launch. I think you're going to run into issues on day one. How many people are going to be bounced into that server? Are they going to have enough? We've just seen Amazon and all their server issues. Dude, and they have one of the biggest means of entertainment servers around, and they still didn't have enough. Now, from what I understand...
there's square kilometers of servers.
Right? Now, from what I understand, it's not just a matter of turning on a switch. I get that. Like, there's a lot to it, and having these servers at the ready and that kind of thing. But at the same time, man... Dude, you got to feel that a lot of people are going to be jumping in on day one for Battlefield. I know everybody we talk to are absolutely pumped to see this thing launch and get their hands on it. So fingers crossed.
What if it hits an issue like Grand Theft Auto 5? It launches with single player only for...
There is no single player.
A year on Grand Theft Auto? Yeah, you get bot matches only.
So we'll see. Yeah, I'm curious to see when we're going to get our codes too. But well, it's an online game, right? You need to have that connection, and you need to have the players. So from the media side, I'm curious to see how that's going to line up with the rest of us. But either way, Scott, let's get into some other streaming content problems, because Twitch source code, streamer earnings information, and more has been leaked over in the world of more Twitch problems. Dude, after them having this whole hate raid thing going on, and now they have this as well. Well, this is what's going on. It looks like Twitch has become the victim of an anonymous hacker who claims to have obtained a wealth of data about the streaming platform, including source code, Twitch's mobile, desktop, and console clients, passwords, streamer payout information, and much more.
Yeah, I've seen the splash of this on Twitter so far. There's a lot of people, bringing up their financials. Unfortunately, they're under massive scrutiny, and they're saying, hey guys, I don't just get money from subscribers. I get money from these different advertisement venues and all these other sponsors. So it's, unfortunately, these people's financial information is coming to light totally outside of their control.
Wow, like that hurts. And it's honestly, that's nobody's business. It's nobody's business what people make, right? If you like the content creator, then support them. If you don't, then don't support them. It's not that difficult.
Do I think Ninja, PewDiePie, and I don't know, do they think they make too much money? Yes, I do, but that's not my business whether I think so or not. It just really isn't.
No, absolutely. You know what? And good on them to be able to turn that into a profitable business. There's a reason that you saw Fortnite explode. It was because Ninja was there, right? Dr. Lupo, he was there. Dr. Lupo, granted, now is no longer there, but maybe, dude, he bailed out at the right time.
I wonder if we'll see a wave of that now, because it seems to be more attractive to get people to jump. I mean, it would be if I were on that platform.
Right? Maybe there's a lot going on, but it's unfortunate for...
Actually, I am on that platform, so I want to issue a reminder that I've seen a lot of people echo, but change your passwords.
Yeah.
And your stream key as well. Your stream key may have been some of that information leaked. I don't know how they'll take advantage of it, but don't let them anyways.
Yeah, that's fair enough, right? So the leak originated on 4chan, where the user responsible for posting it noted their intention in uploading this information was to disrupt the online video streaming space, citing Twitch's toxic community as a motivating factor. If you have a Twitch account, it's probably best to alter all your information.
I wonder if they're so toxic that they hack the system. And who's the toxic one?
Well, exactly. Look who's calling. Yeah, you know what I mean? Look who's calling it out. Like, take a look what you just did. So who's being toxic now? Oh, man. Dude, okay, let's get on to this more unfortunate toxic stuff, because here's what's going on. With New World is implementing new measures to crack down on players going AFK. Good. This is what's going on over here, because New World's popularity continues to cause problems for Amazon Game Studios. This is over by Dom Patati over at VG247. Dude, their servers, we talked about how just within a matter of hours and days, New World skyrocketed to the top of Twitch's platform, right? Like, there's a 900,000 people concurrent, I believe it's concurrent, playing that game. So if you go AFK, they want you off their server. Like, how hard is that to understand? They want to let somebody else in.
There's a saying that came to mind that I'm not going to repeat, but it's if you're not going to use the bathroom, just leave the bathroom. There's a lineup of people waiting to get in, and it's really just inconsiderate for you to take that spot and not use it. It really is.
Absolutely.
The lineup is 500,000 long, last I saw.
Exactly, right? So New World's full servers won't accept new character creations, with full servers will appearing grayed out, preventing players from accidentally picking them as a home for their new characters. In a forum post, community manager Hardcore Henry noted that the team has seen a lot of frustration around individuals who may be artificially remaining active and active enough in service to avoid the automatic AFK mitigation that is built into the New World, and are upping the severity of penalties that you'll be subject to if the AFK consistently in New World. Amazon Game Studios certainly agrees that this is not acceptable behavior, especially when there are devours of individuals who are waiting patiently to play. Dude, it's just that simple, right? They gotta free up that server. We just, like you said, right? If you're waiting in line, then you're waiting because you want to get in there. So get out of the way. If you're not gonna be playing the game, shut it off. I get there's a long load queue. Dude, I've heard people waiting for 2.5 hours to get into the game.
Just put yourself on that side of the fence too. If you paid the money to play this game, you've got maybe the day off, maybe it's your weekend, and you're just not going to get into it because some guy wants to run around in circles with an elastic band around the controller or something silly. Like, why?
Yeah, I'm curious to see what are these players doing that just keeps them enough alive in the server so that they aren't getting booted. But obviously Amazon is smart enough to realize, hey, they're not playing our game. They're just lingering. So, if you're going to loiter, it's not good. It's not cool. So get out of the way and let somebody else play their game, because they're just waiting there like everybody else to get in. That's what we said. So there's 900,000 people playing that game. Like, dude, what a queue, what a wait to get into that game. Wow.
Yeah.
Did you see this coming, Scott, with New World? Like, we've been following Amazon games now for a while. Did you think that this game in particular would be that successful?
I didn't expect it. No, not before really hearing the news. 12 hours after it launched, it was just blasting world records out of the water. But I would not have consider that happening beforehand. And now that we're getting on past the 1 week mark and further, it's so popular that I know it's going to gather some issues. It's going to attract people that will, try to hack it, probe it, make bots, bot accounts and stuff. So I'm hoping this is really just the end of the negative news. And this isn't exactly negative. It's them responding to a situation. So
sure.
I really just hope something constructive comes out of it.
No, absolutely. You know, this is great to see Amazon finally be able to pull themselves out a little bit out of the hot water that they've seen themselves for the last 3 games. I'm going to say 3. 1 was canceled, but 2 weren't. Well, were after being launched. So, you know, it's one of those situations, right? They've tested the waters and they've been testing and testing to see where they can find their foothold here. And dude, out of nowhere, New World seems to be where they landed, and what a landing spot they've found for themselves. So it's great to see that they were able to do this. And with this, then becomes all these players, also becomes a whole boatload of money, which then can go into the next project, right? So will we see a new iteration of Crucible? I don't know, because it probably didn't work the first time, so they're probably not working on that game anymore at all. If anything,
I'm thinking it would be something more trending, which is unfortunately Among Us. They may try and copy something like that. Hopefully not a copy, but I always make the joke about battle royales. Do you think Amazon is ever going to attempt that? They're a giant company. Could certainly foot the bill, but
sure, dude. So they could even take this game, New World. Right now, I don't know a ton about this game at all. I get it's an MMO, but so is Black Desert, and they've implemented an battle royale kind of aspect into their game as well. So who knows what they're able to do. The assets, the thing about it, Scott, is that the assets are already done. Right now, it's just figuring out how to implement a new game mode, a couple other things like that, instead of this constant MMO situation, going out fetching quests and go get this for this troll and go kill that troll or do whatever that you got to do in an MMO. MMOs are just a time sink, and I just don't have the time to sink into them, which is too bad because everybody's on this game, dude, and I really would like to check it out.
Yeah, and then you got to consider a 2-hour wait time to get into the game. It just makes it really difficult for us.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. But like I said, I would definitely like to check it out, just like I'd like to check out the Elden Ring, as the producer shares more details about the game's unusual map. This is comes from Dom.
I'm hoping to hear some. How unusual? This is what I want to know.
Okay.
I really like that non-Euclidean, I think is what it's called, where space doesn't make any sense. You go up the stairs, but you come out somewhere else, and it just kind of breaks reality. That's something that I notice from games a lot. Dark Souls for one. So I'm hoping they keep up with that. Yeah.
Well, we're kind of in that same vein here, obviously, right? This comes from Dom once again over at VG 24/7. As per the developer, the game is on track for its January 21st, 2022 launch, and is currently in the final stages of development, with the studio moving forward quietly. So that's good to see. They're right on point. Everything's looking like where it should be as of right now, but things change, and they can change in a hurry, man. You find one bug and it just throws everything off, right? But thanks to
has R.R. Martin written the end yet? That's what I need to know.
I was waiting for it. But thanks to a translation via the Elden Ring subreddit, we've learned that even by From Software standards, the game has a very unusual map structure that lets you explore where you want, when you want, but also tells you when you're in trouble. Dude, that's
okay.
That's kind of cool, right? If you're having trouble finding a way around the expansive world, which director Hidetaka Miyazaki says has been designed to grant an enormous sense of scale and this broadness and openness. So you will be able to discover physical map fragments in the field, which enable you to call down beams of light from the heavens in order to create waypoints. It'll take traversal and navigation that little bit easier. Dude, that's something new, right? If you don't fall foul to some heavy beast on the way. Well, that's this is gonna be a punishing game.
There's gonna be a lot of that.
Sounds so cool. It sounds so cool, but dude, I don't know if I'll be able to get into this thing because it's gonna be crushing.
It is absolutely going to be crushing. But this reminds me of what you have to do in Minecraft. If you make a tower, you want to ever get back to your home base, you just have to put a torch in the middle of the horizon so you can see it.
Yeah.
And I like that kind of, instead of running off of a mini map, it makes you visually take in more of the map.
Yep.
You have to establish certain landmarks to know where you are. And I think that's cool. That level of depth is something I enjoy.
Absolutely, dude. I'm really curious to see how this map actually works, because maps are just so standard now. Like, you know what I mean? So to see somebody like From Software be able to flip it on its head a little bit differently is absolutely a step forward, and then it moves the whole industry that much more into a different atmosphere and a different take on how we can traverse some of these gameplays and stuff like that. Definitely really cool. Scott, before we get wrapped up here, dude, I got to talk about a little bit the world of our friends over at SteelSeries, because they just formed an agreement with GN. So SteelSeries, global brand leader in esports peripherals, joins the forces with GN, the global leader in audio technology. Quote, we're on a mission to continually push boundaries in esports and gaming with world-class products and software. And now, with the backing of GN, we'll be able to turbocharge these efforts. So that comes from the CEO, Itesmam Rababi. Yep, I'm going to go with that. SteelSeries. Did I? Wow, I'm surprised myself. We all know I suck at names, but I give it a shot. So, hey, SteelSeries has been an iconic brand for decades and will continue to be run by the same leadership team and organization that's driving it now. We're one of the fastest growing brands in our industry, and with this new chapter as an independent business unit of GN, we'll accelerate this growth and have even more esports pros and gamers achieve glory. So, congrats to them. It's exciting to see. Dude, everybody lately is just getting purchased. Have you not noticed that?
Yeah, no, it has happened. It's been started off with game series and studios, and then Xbox bought everything. And
yeah, that's right. We're like, well, before Xbox buys something else, we better sneak in there too.
Yeah.
But dude, why don't we get into game announcements and releases for today? What do we got?
Oh, well, we have two major releases. I'll start with that. We have Far Cry 6.
Yeah.
And this is something I think you've spent some time on now, but that is available on the PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox One, XS, Stadia. I like to see that. Yep. PC and Mac, believe it or not.
It is literally everywhere, except for Luna. I didn't see a Luna in there, but either way.
Oh, yeah, you don't see that one often.
No.
Then we have Gang Beasts appearing on the Switch now.
Cool. There we go. We had a couple game announcements as well. Scott, what do we got for Kingdom Hearts? What's going on there?
All right, well, this relates to the latest Nintendo Direct. Again, I'm going to try not to become too impassioned here, but Nintendo has revealed that all of the Kingdom Hearts games are coming to the Switch, but they are only available as cloud versions, which is really unfortunate that cloud is not in these games, because that would have been perfect. But there is 3 titles, the main ones being Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 plus 2.5. I believe that counts as one. Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8, the final chapter prologue, and Kingdom Hearts 3. They will all be on the Switch at a later announced date. We're not certain when, but these came as part of that announcement where Sora was unveiled as the last character for Smash Brothers. So this is Sakurai just letting it all out of the bag, and a lot of people are excited. I do know about that.
Dude, the Kingdom Hearts, the 1 point this and point that, and the 2.8 is just like, what is going
I don't think they even know how many games there are.
It's just like, why can't you do 1, 2, 3? Make it simple. But
well, even the storyline across one game is so scattered, so I can't even imagine what they do for all 8 of them, or however many there are now.
Dude, there's also another announcement. What was that one about?
Yeah, so this is a new third-person action game, Wanted Dead. And that's coming to the PlayStation 5, the X and S, and PC. So it seems to be just new gen. And it is featuring spectacular melee combat and excellent gunplay. I think this is the one I watched the trailer of, is it not?
Yes, it is, dude. It's
I think
cool.
I said, yeah, I think I said she uses gun fu, which is a real thing, believe it or not.
Yes, I believe you. Believe it or not, I believe you.
This looked like Prince of Persia with firearms in a modern age. It seemed really cool to me.
Nope, absolutely, dude. That's cool. Scott, that's going to wrap up today's show, buddy. Everybody, thank you for hanging out with us. You can catch us over at InsideTheGame.ca, podcast services, and TV streaming networks around the globe. That was a cool show. But until tomorrow, because it's almost there, it's almost Friday, I'm Drew, that's Scott, and we'll see everybody inside the game.